All right, just making a video. Garage is back to being a mess, but usually when it's a mess, you're doing something. When it's clean and nice, people get mad that you don't use your tools or it's only for collection purposes. So, a friend of mine, his wife, well, he said that his wife's Hyundai, I'm not sure what it is. It's like a little small SUV, Hyundai. It's actually my second Hyundai that I've worked on. First one was actually a neighbor next door. Story on that one, 2016 Hyundai Elantra. It's been about 7 weeks since I did a brake job. On week 6, I texted him and asked him if they were having any issues, and he said all was well. Apologize for the AC condenser. It is hot, so it's gonna keep running occasionally. So that's what just turned off. But my buddy, his wife said, well, he told me he wanted us to get a brake job done, and he just wanted to use the tools. And I'm like, okay, sure. Well, that simply means I'll also be participating, if not digging out the tools for him. But when he showed up and we pulled off the wheels, and I'll show you the brake pads, they're down there, the old ones. She reported that there's squeak, and that other folks have told her that her car is squeaking. I think it's a 2020 or 2021 or something up. I don't know the story of the car. I don't know if it was brand new. It was probably used, purchase used. Definitely low mileage, I think. I didn't check. But he also said she was cheap. So she ended up only doing brake pads and not rotors. So, hey, not my call. I'll do my best with what I have. In fact, I supply my tools and I supply my consumables, brake cleaner, the greases and all that stuff, the rags and all that, my time for free. I guess the front and rear brake pads, complete set was like $105, Duralast gold. So I'm not sure what the market value is for that entire job completed. No brake bleed, no rotors were changed. Aside from slapping the new pads on there, make sure those little pieces where the what do you call those little metal clips they sit, make sure those were clean, and then re-grease the caliper slide pins. That's about it that I did. Put the tires on, torque them back. In fact, I don't know the torque specs on the brake caliper bolts or whatever, but so I let them crank it down. I'll bring you in and show you the brake pads and what they look like. I forgot to tell them no warranty is implied. I mean, if they come back and say something has fallen off, then I'll take a look at it, but. So, this is the carnage. So they got Duralast gold brake pads. And they had the new clips, they had the retaining clips, and the new shims. That's what they're called. They had new shims. So you can see where the brakes pads had made contact. This movement and the piston. Those are for the rear brakes. But this is the carnage that has, ensued. So the only tool that I have not used here is this piston wind back tool. I have 2 of them. I'm not sure. This is by Lang. I'm not sure if this is the smaller or the large one, but I have 2 of them. And then another tool that we had to press pause on the service to go find is this. So when my first neighbor came over, I guess my neighbor, because my friend doesn't live next to me, but my neighbor came over, got to the rear brakes, and No, I know I have a wind back set, which is right here. I also know I have a pneumatic wind back set, which is slightly larger than this. And I know I have a single unit that you can put like a 1/2 inch or 3/8 drive inside of it, or maybe it's a 1/2 inch drive, and wind it back. But for the life of me, I knew this was in a red case, but I had to be digging yesterday. Otherwise, I use the purple stuff on the ears with the brakes. So on the little ear right here, that's where I put the purple stuff. I mean, look at the meat on this brake pad. I'm not gonna measure it because I only have one hand. I measured it, showed him yesterday, and it was, I wanna say 8mm. So look at the amount of meat that's on here. And I mean, it shows relatively even wear. I mean, look at the meat that's on them. She said it was squeaking. When we popped off the wheels, I was like, this does not look like anything that needs to be changed, but hey, you're spending your money. I'm volunteering my time and again, my expendables and resources and knowledge. I mean, look at these beefy pads. I mean, clearly I could probably resell them or something, but it's brakes, so I'm probably just gonna toss them. I don't want to be responsible for someone else's vehicle due to replacement brake pads. I do get it. These are pretty, I mean, I could probably clean them up, but these aren't necessarily gonna fit any of my vehicles. At least I don't think. So in that case, they're just gonna get, in fact, I'll just box them up. I told him to take them. In fact, I'll just box them up actually, and I'll put them back in the boxes that the original ones came in, or new ones came in, and I'll return it to him. But yeah, got out my quick jack because there was not a convenient place to use a your standard car jack under the front and the back side. I mean, there was like the side pinch walls, but then you'd be like pulling the car when you're lifting it, which makes the car kind of unstable on the next jack stand, if you will. So I pulled out my 7K quick jacks. They work just fine. This side went up faster, and that side over there was slower. So maybe I got to bleed these. I know there's like a maintenance. This is the newest one. I got a 5K one, but this is the newest one. But once I brought them up, I mean, the car wasn't unstable or anything. It was a bit shaky because my floor, where my driveway where he parked, wasn't all the way forward. It was kind of still sloping. So the backside of the quick jack wasn't like, the ground was falling away slightly, but not by much. But got it on the first lock, and that's all we needed. So usually, you know, he'll offer to help me clean up. I just like to take time to put my tools away for myself. I can tell what's missing, and, you know, versus, you know, catch it in the long run. It's been a minute since I've had tub of towels. Just been stealing the kids' wipes. I mean, it works for cleaning your hands. It's not as effective as some towel towels, but it's good to have some. I'll probably throw that in a truck, especially when you go to the gas stations and stuff. It's just good to have something to wipe your hands off with. Compressor just kicked back on. So I'm gonna get the stuff all cleaned up, put away the stuff. I did buy. So talked about moving my pack out radio up there to create some space, right? I did end up buying this rack from Home Depot. So I gotta install it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm pretty tired actually. I'm getting ready to tile the house, and I just picked up 20 50 pound bags of thin set. Schroeder all set. So, and earlier I was like getting all my tile saw prepped and it's just, yeah, just getting all the prep work done, getting all the stuff. So I've been running around. So I'm pretty exhausted. I kind of want to clean this up though, so I can get the car out of the sun. You can see it on the garage door. It's not as hot as it's been over the past couple days, but it's supposed to start warming up again. So I definitely want to get my car back in here. Wish I had enough space to park all my vehicles inside. You know, just a big shop, but that's the future problem. I actually started creating like a list of stuff that I would like to have in there, like drains in the floor, you know, plugs everywhere, 220 and 110, you know, like drop ceiling cords and air and all that stuff. But anyway, I thought I was gonna get to this to like just put it on the grinder and shave it down so I can fit all these. I was watching a video today. The girl, I remember her name, her channel, but she works on Harleys. But she called this the dog bone, which I could see why it's called a dog bone torque adapter. But I need to shave down this little thing to get them to fit. These gloves, I need to get some new gloves. Gloves are trash. So yeah, something I encountered. I mean, I've been doing a lot of reorg with my tools and stuff. And so, case in point, I did not find the brake hangers, the caliper hangers, until the rear brakes. Because I had, you know, moved stuff around. So, and again, that's why that piston thing took forever. Also, I was going to do my own research, but does anyone know why some rear brakes you'd have to wind it back versus the front pistons, it's just you know, push it directly in? Why is it a wind back in the rear and, you know, push in the front? I was going to look, but maybe someone can save me some time. This is a thought I had yesterday. I call this shower thought. I need to get on the same wavelength as everyone else and put some batteries in my power drawer here. I guess one was in there, but yeah, I just need to put some batteries in there and stop running to the shed when I need batteries. At least one M12 and one M18 will do me fine. I went to Home Depot today to pick up some stuff for the tile job. I knew they sell tub towels, and I had ran out, hence why I have baby wipes. So I picked this up so I can clean off some of my tools and clean off my hands. But yeah, what was I saying? So moving around a lot of tools, I, you know, just, it becomes hard to remember where everything is. And so sometimes it's a struggle. So like I was looking for, and even in this setup, you can't tell it, but I know I use this 14 millimeter right here. So I know that's missing, but really if something is missing from here, it's hard to tell what's missing in this sea of stuff. So when someone else is using your stuff, it's not the same as you using it. And then yesterday, I told him to grab a lug nut socket, and I guess I left him with a drawer not fully pulled out, and when he pushed it back, half of the stuff was knocked over, which I get. I mean, I go easy on it because I know the setup, it's not fully there, but like I can tell, I use a socket from right here, 14, and I use one from right here. So that's 2, and then I'm missing one from right here. But if someone else has used this, it would take me a minute to find out that I'm missing something. So this is not ideal for anyone else but for me. I'm also missing the one right here. He was doing a 22 millimeter or 21 millimeter, and I was using. So we'll find those and we'll put them back. Yeah, just making a little video here. What else? So yeah, part of doing this reorg with tools is that I'm gonna have to learn. This is the first job that I've done, help somebody, or maybe the second, where I'm in the midst of like moving stuff around. So I know what I'm looking for. I know where it's usually at, but I'm trying to put stuff that kind of work hand in hand together. Like brake hangers with brake caliper things and stuff, But anyway, it should be a pretty fast cleanup. All this stuff right here was because I was trying to get out a quick jack out of there, so all this stuff was not used right here. All these like jugs and stuff. The only stuff was used was a quick jack, the stuff on the cardboard. And then clearly I needed one torque wrench from under that thing, so I had to take down the RCs off it. So yeah, this place is gonna get cleaned up pretty fast. Like I said, I'm tired on the feet. Chances are that's not critical. I won't mount it today. So in fact, I noticed this has 2 shelves, so maybe I can, I do have one of those pack outs that I bought for my mobile setup, one of the crates, and it's at a storage unit. It's not doing anything, so maybe I'll just, since it has 2 shelves, I'll just put the pack out radio at the bottom one, and I'll put that thing up top, and then I'll use it to store some of the fluids and stuff, just to free space up. Like I said, I don't really want to install a lot of stuff on the wall, and I've been pretty careful not to. If you look around the garage, the wall space is pretty clear. It's not a lot of stuff that's mounted on the wall that's not meant to be mounted on a wall. So yeah, just giving you guys a video to watch, not too long. I'll probably start making a little bit more videos here and there. But like I said, life is gonna get busy for the foreseeable future. So do what I can. Priority now is to get the floor done. I did my tile floor myself. This is the first tile job that I did. I did get some lessons learned. These are, what are these? 12 by 24s. Yeah, 12 by 24. The tiles that I'm using inside is gonna be 24 by 48, so some big guys. And I'm doing the staircase, and then the entire lower level, and then I gotta do the backsplash. It's definitely overdue, but it's been taking me a while because I've been doing it in between, at least the prep work, ripping up the old tile, getting the floor. This past, I want to say it was Friday afternoon, I ripped up the entire carpet on top of the stair, because obviously the floor at the bottom, and then this where the stair first step transition, it will be a weird transition. So so many staples that you have to pull. The floor is going to just be bare OSB, so I got to think about the kids running up and down the stairs and making sure they're not going to get poked by anything. So I literally had a what do you call it, not a chisel, but a putty knife, that's what I call it, just running it flat blades to see if it catch on anything, and then pulling it as I caught it. So with a pliers, so many staples, but so far they haven't caught a nail or staple or anything, so I definitely want to get that all buttoned up. So that's where I'm going to be consumed with my work, but hopefully the prep work that I've been doing over time, and then just get into stuff. Like I said, this morning I was laying out my tile saws and just finding all the pieces I need, so when I start that job, I can get into a good rhythm and just knock it out. It's going to be challenging. The layout is the challenging part, and maybe I'll do a video. I'd like to keep the camera outside of the house, because it's not only my space, it's kids' space, and the ladies' space. So I try to keep the camera out of that space. This space here is mine. So basically, but maybe I'll show you guys. And the part where I'm running into issues is the layout of where the stairs transition to the stairs, as far as, layout is critical when doing tile. You can't just, you can just start in a corner but it's not gonna look good, and it's not gonna probably end good. So you gotta, like when I did this floor, I laid it out. I believe I laid out actually the first 2 or 3 rows, like right here, just laid them out, see how they look. And from there, I just measured and see how much I was gonna end up with up there. And it didn't turn out bad. There's a couple things that I learned. Like my garage door still acts up even though I cut it back. I cut it back, so I got to fill in that grout, fill in this thing that I kicked back. You know, I didn't use a trim piece. I didn't even think about using trim, and I maybe thought about it, but I figured it probably like peel up, so I just, you know, it was larger than this. I obviously cut it off, but the thin set, so use that. And then here's my first ever tile cut. So I'm hoping not to repeat that because this was not needed. I mean, you can see how much I needed just right there. And look at how deep it is and janky. So a part of me almost wants to cut this tile and take it up, but that's the garage. And then, so there was that, and there's a couple, I mean, I had some cracked tiles over there because I had gotten my box and I was moving stuff around on tiles that weren't like, it wasn't grouted yet, so it chipped the edges. I think there's like 3 chipped tiles over there, and really I should have replaced them, but when you're trying to be done and you're having to move stuff around, it's kind of like, all right, let me just continue. But my first tile job turned out well, not cracking. You gotta be careful. Can't be dropping stuff because, I mean, it will chip this, you know, really basic floor tile. It's not a hardened tile, so you got to be careful. But as far as parking a car on it, no issues, held up well. So super excited about getting the interior done and then advancing my skill set. Some people might say pay somebody. Well, I like doing stuff myself. It gives me a break from work because my work has nothing to do with any of this stuff on the floor or things I'm talking about. So it's kind of like my break, even though it's time consuming. What else? Kind of blabbering. But I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up, start posting this video, get my phone charged up so it doesn't die during the posting. And we'll call it post Hyundai brake job. But would you have changed those brakes? What's the cause of squeaks and brakes? I don't know. Talking about one little point here. Oftentimes you'll see these things sold. Let's just push that guy back in. So I have a product here which I've actually never used. Sometimes these are seen as gimmicky. Brake disc quiet. So, I mean, the bottle looks like it's been used, but I've never used it. So it says, apply liberally to the steel back of each pad. Spread evenly over entire surface. Disc brake quiet should not be applied to the brake lining. Allowed to set for 10 minutes. May install while still tacky. Replace cap after using lubricated all metal to metal contact points with CRC synthetic brake and caliper grease. Proper lubrication will further reduce the risk of brake noise. So it looks like it just wants you to use the back or apply it to the back of each pad where the pistons make contact. I still use the same type of brake grease, the purple stuff in my case, but yeah, I don't know. I don't make the rules. I am not a professional, so professionals chime in. Let the comments take themselves away. All right, enough blabbering. I'm gonna get this stuff all put back together. I am exhausted. But anyway, like and hit the thing.